Ibrahim Traoré announces resignation as Burkina Faso's president. In a stunning and unexpected development, Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, has announced his intention to step down from his position. This revelation has sent shockwaves not only across Burkina Faso, but also throughout Africa and beyond. Traoré has emerged as a symbol of African resistance against neo-colonial exploitation, a leader who has worked tirelessly to reclaim Burkina Faso's sovereignty, empower its citizens, and lay the groundwork for sustainable growth and independence. His potential resignation has sparked widespread protests, with citizens vehemently opposing his departure. But why does Traoré wish to step down, and what does this mean for the future of Burkina Faso? Let's delve into the story behind this unexpected decision. A leader under pressure. Since assuming power in September 2022, Captain Ibrahim Traoré has faced relentless opposition from foreign governments, international institutions, and regional political bodies like ECOWAS. These entities have consistently demanded his resignation, calling for a return to civilian rule under the guise of promoting democracy and stability. However, what these critics fail to acknowledge is the overwhelming support Traoré enjoys from the Burkinabé people, who see him as a champion of true independence, a leader who prioritizes national interests over foreign agendas. France, in particular, has long exerted significant political and economic influence over Africa, ensuring that African leadership remains aligned with its interests. When Traoré took power and began dismantling this foreign influence, expelling French military forces, rejecting neo-colonial economic policies, and asserting Burkina Faso's sovereignty, he became a direct threat to French hegemony in the region. Almost immediately, France and the European Union condemned his leadership, labeling it a coup and demanding a swift return to civilian rule. Yet these same powers had no qualms supporting previous corrupt and ineffective civilian governments that served their interests. The fight for sovereignty. Traoré's leadership marked a turning point for Burkina Faso. Unlike his predecessors, who often prioritized personal gain and foreign alliances, Traoré focused on national self-sufficiency, military empowerment, and economic independence. He rejected the lavish lifestyle typically associated with African leaders, opting to retain his modest military salary instead of accepting the higher pay of a president. His administration took bold steps to reclaim control over Burkina Faso's resources, particularly its gold and agriculture, which had long been exploited by foreign corporations. One of his most significant actions was the expulsion of French troops in 2023. For decades, France maintained a neo-colonial presence in its former African colonies, using military bases to protect its corporate interests. The removal of French forces signaled a seismic shift in Burkina Faso's foreign policy, aligning it with pro-sovereignty movements across Africa. Traoré also invested in strengthening the national military, reducing reliance on foreign intervention, and launching economic reforms to ensure that the country's wealth benefited its citizens rather than foreign entities. Western backlash and propaganda. French media outlets, often acting as mouthpieces for their government, have consistently undermined Traoré's legitimacy. They portray him as a power-hungry dictator while ignoring his widespread public support. These same outlets remain silent on the corruption and failures of French-backed African leaders, yet they amplify every challenge Traoré faces, painting his administration as unstable and undemocratic. French-backed African elites and organizations like ECOWAS have joined this smear campaign, calling for a return to constitutional order, a thinly veiled attempt to remove Traoré and install a leader more amenable to foreign interests. However, the people of Burkina Faso have made their stance clear. They refuse to return to a system that has historically served foreign powers and local elites while leaving the masses in poverty and insecurity. Traoré's leadership has inspired a resurgence of national pride and a belief in the possibility of true independence. His administration's efforts to reclaim control over resources, strengthen the military, and prioritize food security have earned him unprecedented support. The people's resistance. In a rare display of unity, thousands of Burkinabé citizens have taken to the streets, waving flags, chanting Traoré's name, and demanding that he remain in power. These protests are a testament to the deep connection between Traoré and the people he serves. Unlike many African leaders who cling to power for personal gain, Traoré has consistently emphasized that his leadership is transitional, aimed at restoring security and laying the foundation for a strong, independent civilian government. His decision to step down, once security conditions improve, reflects his commitment to this vision. However, the people fear that his resignation could lead to a return of foreign-controlled leadership, corruption, and weak governance. They understand that Traoré's departure would not signify a return to democracy, but rather a regression to a system that prioritizes French interests over national sovereignty. A strategic move? Some analysts believe that Traoré's announcement is a strategic maneuver to gauge public sentiment. The overwhelming support he has received in response to his resignation plans has only strengthened his legitimacy. It proves that he is not a dictator clinging to power, but a leader genuinely committed to the will of his people. His leadership is part of a broader struggle for African sovereignty, alongside pro-independence movements in Mali, Niger, and Guinea. These nations have also rejected French military and economic control, inspired by Traoré's defiance. Traoré's recent criticism of French President Emmanuel Macron further underscores his commitment to African independence. He has called out Macron for insulting Africans and manipulating African leaders through neo-colonial agreements. Traoré has urged African nations to break military pacts with France, warning that French powers are shifting strategies by embedding themselves within private security firms to maintain control over the continent. The future of Burkina Faso. Traoré's potential resignation raises critical questions about the future of Burkina Faso. Will his successors continue his vision of sovereignty and self-reliance, or will the country fall back into the hands of French-backed elites? The infrastructure Traoré has built, economic reforms, military strength, and national unity must endure regardless of who leads the nation. His departure could either mark the beginning of a new chapter in Burkina Faso's journey toward independence or a return to the neo-colonial exploitation of the past. Ultimately, the people of Burkina Faso hold the power to decide their future. Their unwavering support for Traoré demonstrates their desire for a leader who prioritizes national interests over foreign agendas. Whether Traoré steps down or remains in power, his legacy as a champion of African sovereignty will endure. His leadership has inspired a generation to believe in the possibility of true independence, and his story serves as a powerful reminder that the fight for self-determination is far from over. The broader implications. Traoré's leadership and the subsequent reactions from France and ECOWAS highlight a broader struggle across Africa. Many African nations are grappling with the legacy of colonialism and the ongoing influence of former colonial powers. Traoré's actions have inspired similar movements in neighboring countries, where leaders are increasingly rejecting foreign intervention and asserting their nation's sovereignty. This wave of pro-independence sentiment is reshaping the political landscape of West Africa, challenging the status quo and demanding a new era of self-determination. The role of ECOWAS in this context is particularly noteworthy. As a regional body, ECOWAS is supposed to promote economic integration and political stability among its member states. However, its alignment with French interests and its calls for Traoré's resignation have raised questions about its commitment to African sovereignty. Many see ECOWAS as a tool for maintaining the influence of former colonial powers rather than a genuine advocate for African unity and independence. The role of the youth. One of the most significant aspects of Traoré's leadership is the support he enjoys from Burkina Faso's youth. Young people, who make up a large portion of the population, have been at the forefront of the protests demanding that Traoré remain in power. They see him as a leader who represents their aspirations for a better future, a future free from foreign exploitation and corruption. Traoré's emphasis on education, job creation, and youth empowerment has resonated deeply with this demographic, further solidifying his support base. The youth's involvement in these protests also underscores a broader trend across Africa. Young people are increasingly becoming active participants in political processes, demanding accountability, transparency, and genuine representation. Traoré's leadership has tapped into this energy, channeling it into a movement for national sovereignty and self-reliance. Economic reforms and self-reliance. One of the cornerstones of Traoré's administration has been its focus on economic reforms aimed at reducing Burkina Faso's dependence on foreign aid and investment. By reclaiming control over key sectors such as mining and agriculture, Traoré has sought to ensure that the country's wealth benefits its citizens rather than foreign corporations. His administration has also prioritized infrastructure development, healthcare, and education, laying the foundation for long-term economic growth and stability. These reforms have not been without challenges. The expulsion of French troops and the subsequent reduction in foreign aid have put pressure on Burkina Faso's economy. However, Traoré's administration has sought to mitigate these challenges by forging new partnerships with countries like Russia, China, and Iran. These alliances have provided alternative sources of investment and support, further reducing Burkina Faso's reliance on former colonial powers. The path forward. As Burkina Faso navigates this critical juncture, the path forward remains uncertain. Traoré's potential resignation could either mark the beginning of a new chapter in the country's journey toward independence or a return to the neo-colonial exploitation of the past. The people of Burkina Faso have made their stance clear. They want a leader who prioritizes national interests over foreign agendas. Whether Traoré steps down or remains in power, his legacy as a champion of African sovereignty will endure. The broader implications of Traoré's leadership extend beyond Burkina Faso. His actions have inspired similar movements across Africa, challenging the influence of former colonial powers and demanding a new era of self-determination. As the continent continues to grapple with the legacy of colonialism, leaders like Traoré represent a beacon of hope for a future defined by independence, unity, and prosperity. What do you think? Should Ibrahim Traoré step down and allow a civilian leader to take over, or is he the only leader capable of guiding Burkina Faso toward true independence? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on Africa's history, culture, and ongoing struggles for sovereignty. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay tuned.